What's good today, Mr. Ursher? Welcome in, welcome in. Get this out the way, get set up. It's Wednesday. It's the eve, Christmas Eve. How does that feel? We all excited for the holiday? Uh-oh. Things popping up on the wrong screens. Uh, yeah, man, today had to go get lined up. You know what I mean? Look fresh, look clean, look good. John Kim, welcome in. LeBron's leg cramps, Mr. Julian. What are you reading? Great question. I am reading a book called The Ascent of Money right now. So my father, man, is a reader. In his world, it goes his yard, his books, his dogs, his kids, then probably my mom's. And so he sent me this book. Go Cougs, like it, user 196. He sent me this book, and he sends me, most of these behind me were at one point his reads, but really cool. Again, it's a 600-700 page book, but it's the history of money, and it's just been really, really interesting, entertaining, engaging, because this is a topic I want to be a thought leader on. And if you are gonna, go out and try to speak to people about money, you got to be able to not just understand what it is today, but it's got to reference, how things came to be, the banking system, the bond system, interest rates, how we started to exchange, what we've used for currencies, all those kinds of things. That's why this evolution of Bitcoin is interesting to me, because we've used endless things throughout history as a currency and a form and a medium of exchange, this being the newest one. But it's also just interesting that it's like, hey, in the past, the gold standard, we've always needed something to satisfy us. And today, money is nothing but a number on a screen. And so it's really kind of interesting in that realm. I did just finish up my second time going through a book called Think and Grow Rich. Most people have heard of that. It's one of the top 5 or 10 sellingest books of all time. If you do, I would recommend getting the workbook. So this one you get to go through, and if you want to know me in a nutshell, this is how I consume things. Let's see. Let's see. First thing I open to: causes of failure as a businessman or an entrepreneur. Number 1 is the lack of the ability to make a decision. Number 2 is the lack of education. And number 3, where most people fail, is a lack of discipline. So it is it's a really, really neat book. Just a lot of great stuff coming out of this. Man, I need to go back and look through. Here's a great one. Your subconscious will obey what it is told. That's possibly one of the best lessons to come away from that subject, because it is all about thoughts becoming things. Can you talk about your course? Charles Shat Cavalier. Absolutely. I'd love to talk about my course. It's built and based off the Amazon best-selling book, Your Money Vehicle. So where we want to understand is our mission is, how do we begin to empower people to use money? And by use, it's an acronym, USE. Understand, strategize, and be efficient. USE, understand, strategize, efficient. So as a wealth manager, as a certified financial planner, I kept running into, as I would help people would ask me similar questions. And I started to just look at it and say, well, why aren't we educating? Why aren't we teaching people what these basic fundamental starting questions are? The financial literacy of old is stale, is not entertaining, is not engaging. What if we talk to people as if we were telling them stories and taught them the ideas around money through a story lens and an analogy? So Money Vehicle, the virtual course we built, will be in colleges, high schools across the country in the next 3 to 5 years. Why do I know that? Because I was in the industry for 5 years, and I ran into hundreds of advisors, hundreds of administrators, all looking for a course that is built out and turnkey. So what we did was answer the first 10 questions on a financial journey. I'm going to run through them real quick. The first one, why do you care about money? We have to address the idea that pension, Social Security are gone. You got to set goals. The second one's going to be, how does money create money? You got to understand the complicated aspects of compound interest, but you don't need to understand the fine-tuned details. You just have to understand the concept of why you want to go put your money to work for you. One of the overarching themes of the book is employ your money. Make money go to work for you. Don't just go to work for money. Number 3 is going to be, how do you control your money? That's going to be through a cash management system. We introduced the money bucket system, which is 5 choices you have with every dollar. And it's really, I just gave out my final for my course because I'm an adjunct professor. I would say probably the biggest response from students, from young professionals, what the best value is from the course may be the 5 money bucket system, because it gives you a controllable guide. It's not dollar and dimes. It's not mint. It's not, hey, where did you spend that money yesterday? But as your paycheck comes in, I just got a paycheck in the mail, I know exactly where that paycheck's going to be broken up. Number 4 is going to be, who is your first teammate? We're going on this financial journey. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with a team. So we look at the banking system and we say, 1, how is it advantageous to us? And 2, I'm not looking at bank accounts and saying you're going to get wealthy off of them. I'm looking at them and saying they are going to become fundamental tools that you use in your financial journey. So chapter 4, we look at those accounts. Chapter 5, if you look at your money vehicle, the first mistake most people make in their actual vehicle is not checking their oil, and their oil runs out and breaks the car down. Your oil in your money vehicle is the credit card. And we really want to identify the difference between debit and credit, how to use your credit card wisely, and how it is going to impact your credit score. So the credit trap is anytime you buy something that ends up costing you more than you originally purchased it for. So I bought a pair of shoes for $100, put it on my credit card. They ended up actually costing me $136. I fell into the credit trap. Chapter 6 is the engine of your money vehicle. We get into investments. And I know everybody wants to focus on investments. I've read pretty much every personal finance book out there. I would say they focus too much on investments. Most people, the average introductory person, doesn't have to become a master of trying to beat the stock market. And we introduce the concepts of why. We introduced the idea of capitalism. Capitalism just means we're trying to make a profit. We introduced the idea of do-re-mi investing, which a lot of people enjoy. Diversification, stocks, bonds, what's the difference? Why do we need and use them both? And then we really dive into the mutual fund and the index fund, ending with this idea that you don't have to be a stock market expert. Your financial journey can begin with that single purchase that will diversify you across the country or across the world. So that is the message of chapter 6. Each of these chapters ends with an action item. Chapter 1, set goals. Chapter 2, look at where your lender-lendee relationships. Chapter 3, open your accounts. Chapter 4, set up a cash management system. All of these are in the course and really empowering. Again, this is not education. This is, if I want to begin a financial plan at 16, at 19, at 24, at 28, here are the first 10 steps for you. Appreciate you, Fozzie Term. So then we look at chapter 7, this identification of transferring risk. That is going to be through an insurance policy. We introduce premium and deductibles and understanding how those relationships work. And then we talk about the auto insurance policy, which most of us have and need. Chapter 8, which we're going to talk about a little bit today, is going to be, gosh, love it. Thank you, Fozzie. Chapter 8 is going to be Fozzie terms. Chapter 8 is going to be around cybersecurity, how to protect yourself online. Chapter 9 is going to be around how to use the tax system. So we have to understand gross to net. We have to understand what comes out between them. And then I really love to introduce people to the idea that not every dollar you make is taxed the same. Most people are totally misunderstanding the progressive income tax code. They think, hey, at the end of the year, I don't want to get my bonus because I'm going to end up losing money on all the money. No. That's not how it works. So what we tried to do was introduce how you understand this. But again, everything's told through a story, through an analogy. We take you to an ice cream parlor. Chapter 10 is around Roth accounts. I think this is the massive advantage for young professionals. By young, I mean really anybody under 40, 35, 30. If you can start a Roth account in your teens or 20s, you are massively ahead of the game. So chapter 10 is really identifying the difference between a 401k and a Roth account and why you should use that as your first money vehicle. So that's a high-level synopsis. Charles, that might have been too much, but as you can tell, this is my jam, this is my baby, this is my passion. People tee me up, I'm going to run with it. So thank you for that question. Ethan, will you ever get into coaching? I would love to get into coaching. At the moment, I am coaching. I'm coaching money. I'm not coaching football. I definitely see football always being a part of my life, and I will probably end up coaching at some level. Ideally, it would be, when I'm financially free and I get to go to high school and really start to impact, because I had some high school coaches absolutely change my life. So I have to pay that one forward. Let's see. Did you ever score in a game? Just that kid. I had about 10 touchdowns. So yeah, I scored a couple in the NFL. Also scored a little bit in college. You know what I mean? Fozzie terms. Love it. I don't know what all these are, but I like the hearts. Awesome. LeBron leg cramps. Thank you. Very interesting. Always appreciate you, sir. We're about to take North Dakota by storm. Matthew Martinez. We don't care. There's only 40 people laughing out loud. Wow. I hope you have a better day, Matthew. No need to be hate. Danny, yo, what's good, Danny boy? I was lucky my school and parents taught me about economics. Keep doing what you're doing. Seth, yes, if we could have a place where people are comfortable bringing conversations, bringing in. What is one of my proud moments right now is we have a newsletter. The Money Vehicle Movement is a newsletter where students that have gone through the course are now writing about topics that the course taught them or topics that are happening in their daily lives. And they're students just like you. They're students, 16 to 26 that are saying, hey, well, why isn't anybody talking about sports betting? Or why isn't anybody talking about, how money is intended to be used in college or what I need to be working? And so that is the beauty, is we want to make this a conversation. That's what this group and everyone is trying to do. So yes. Charles, if I get the course, do I always have access to it, or does it expire after a certain amount of time? Love the question. You get the course is yours, the knowledge is yours. It is on you to make action out of it, though. So it is on you to hold yourself accountable, and we can follow up and do more stuff on that. But yes, it will be a resource for you that you can go back, watch. All the videos are on demand. There's about 50 5-minute videos, very entertaining videos. Nos made. Love it. Good stuff. Trying to spread the word, spread the message. This movement is starting. We have groups, clubs, colleges, high schools all over the country really taking it in. So it is really, really cool to see this thing growing. Who are listening to what he says. Thank you, Seth. That's, haters got to hate. Cat Williams said it best. If you don't have enough haters, man, you ain't doing something right. If you're a hater out there, feel free to hate on me. Sit back there, say my hair ain't luxurious when you know it is. Man, that was a great stand-up. Also, do I have access after taking the course, or is it gone once I finish it? Charles, you not only have access to it, but upon completion, this was one of the things. I Googled this in 2008, have Googled it every year since. Financial literacy certification course. Hasn't been one out there. Money Vehicle, I believe, is one of the first certification courses. So not only do you continue to have access to it, but you get a certification that you get to put on LinkedIn, you get to put on your resume. And as you apply for colleges, as you apply for jobs, it will be one of the fundamental principles of HRs. I talk to companies all day long. Financial wellness is the message of 2021. Everybody is concerned with it. Everybody sees people's productivity go down if money is a concern. Why they handle it in the Navy SEALs is they know if I have to worry about the person next to me worrying about money, they're not going to be doing their job best. That mindset is starting to go into corporate America. And so you're going to start to see requirements for courses like this. That is why we're sitting at the beginning of a really neat wave and a really neat movement. So yes, you have access after you finish it, and you can earn a certification that is a great resume builder. John Kim, knew you were going to come to me trying to get woke, bro. I appreciate you, John, sticking up for me. Chapter 10 was my personal favorite. LeBron's leg cramps, been through the course, earned his certification. Chapter 10 was an actionable item. That is what we're about. I want you to learn. I want you to be educated, but we want you to actually put these into real life practical terms. And if one mission we have as a group, as a company, is the 60 of us are here on the call, every one of us should have a Roth account. Every one of us should have a Roth account. So looking at it through that lens, that is part of what we're going to do. If you want to know why, go check out the course. If you want a half off discount, Cyber Monday coupon gets you half off. 40 people who want to become financially free. Also, that's what I'm talking about. Also, we all want to see that freedom as our goal. We have to understand how to get there. We have to use money to get there. Jason.edu. Yo, what's up? Nice to see you. Welcome in. I loved every minute of that. Thank you, Charles. Thanks, brother. Let's go. Where'd it go? Shall we talk more about trash talk? Yeah, we can talk more about trash talk. One of Danny says, I missed somebody. Favorite teammate you played with? Great question. So I'd have to go with Brian De La Puente. I actually ended up being his officiant in his wedding, so I married him and his beautiful bride, Mackenzie. Still one of my best friends to this day. Played on the Saints with me. He was a very similar story. He actually was a walk-on at Cal Berkeley, earned a scholarship, undrafted in the NFL, played 8 years. So yeah, he and I are best buds, and he was my favorite teammate. My economics teacher told me that the biggest thing he regrets was not starting a Roth account. Seth, the biggest regret people have is not taking advantage. Why? We saw the market skyrocket over the past 6 months. Most people are now in Robinhood brokerage accounts are paying taxes on all of that gain. The wealthy don't pay taxes on investment gains. Why? Because they do a little trick called tax loss harvesting. And this is the idea that when the market goes down, they capture a realized loss and they carry it forward to offset future realized gain. That is a strategy. That is a tactic. That is something that you can do in taxable accounts. When you look at a Roth account, you don't have to worry about any of that because it's tax-free for life. It's an extremely neat, advantageous tool. And when you look at $1 trillion being signed for a bill to go out to Americans, love it, need it, great. Taxes are going to pay for that. One of my favorite TikTok pages, Danny, thank you. That's awesome. Ben, I've heard that you should only spend 20% on a credit card, but I've also heard 10%. Which is better? Great question. So it's not so much how much you spend on it. It's when your credit is actually being pulled. They never really want to see you above, and it's actually about 30%. So if you're above that 30% mark, they get a little bit testy. If you are maxed out, that is a big red flag for a credit score. So that is going to ding you. So as you look at it, you can put 100% on your credit card, but you have to pay it off every month. So you treat your credit card just like a debit card. If you don't have the money in the bank, you don't have the money on the credit card. That is one of the lessons we get in chapter 5 of the credit trap. You got to understand how much to put on, how to use it, and to mentally treat it like a debit card. So we talk about some more trash talk. Absolutely. So some of my favorite trash talk, I remember, and guys fight all the time. Guys don't fight as much in games, though I did. Obviously, you just saw a video go out with Cam Jordan getting a punch in during a game. But one of my favorites was a linebacker in Cleveland for the Browns. His name is Blake Costanzo, and he was this little crazy dude, kind of like a Jersey boy, and just was willing and ready to fight anyone and everywhere. And his favorite trash talk was when somebody would come at him, he would always be very comfortable in saying, "Today's a great day to die. Do you agree?" And that was like the best trash talk I've ever heard, because it was like, Blake, like, it's a Wednesday, bro. Like, it's week 13. What are you talking about? But he was just believe it or not, in the NFL, there's some loonies, and you learn to love them. Do you know who's destroying is? Do you know who destroying is? Jack, you got to ask that again. I don't understand that one. Ben, keep it under 30%. 0% is best. That man, money vehicle certified right there. Love it. Also, book soon. Coming. January, we're sitting mailing them out. Spooky, welcome to the movement. Welcome to the club. Big Daddy Golden Glove Boxer. My name is Jed Collins. Nice to meet you. How important is a college education in your opinion, and what amount of debt should you plan to have? Excellent question. So this all has to do with the chapter we talk about in the book, chapter 3, around making decisions, opportunity costs. Opportunity costs is the advantages and the value that you give up. So not going to college these days is a welcomed source. Like, I don't mind people not going to college anymore if they understand what plan and what road they're heading down. So as you look at it, when you weigh it, what career do you really want to have? Does that career require a college degree? Doctor, lawyer, those traditional ones? Absolutely. Those people need to keep going to college. Those people can be in debt. I'm okay with that. If you're a doctor and you're in debt, you should be getting a good enough job to pay it off. That has evolved and changed so much over the last 10, 20 years. Doctors right now are one of the most hurt industries because of the debt that they take on. So I look at it today and I say, I think 18-year-olds, 20-year-olds, people who are looking to go to college really have to start to measure what career and what income they really want to go get. Understand this. The higher the income, the more stress, the more time, the more competition. So if you are willing to say, I want to make $250,000 in my job, that's top 10% right there. I want to make $250,000. You are going to have to be willing to not only go in debt, but then work like that in your 20s, 30s, and 40s. So if you're somebody who says money is not that important to me, I would really look at it and say, no. I don't need to go to Stanford for $62,000 a day. I'm comfortable going to a different school, having a different income, and being in my lifestyle. That is going to be your ultimate question. Is college for me? What lifestyle do I really want to have? Then I can start to make those decisions. Student loans, I believe, are a good investment in yourself, but too much of anything is a bad thing. Everything in moderation was a saying the Greeks originated thousands of years ago. And so as you look at student loans, you really have to be able to measure yourself and say, am I ever going to be able to dig myself out of this hole? And if that answer is no, then that's too much student loans. And I don't care what job you have. If you look at it and say, hey, I actually am not going to be able to, afford the lifestyle I want and pay all this, that's not for you. There are also a lot of great, Joseph Finn, appreciate it, also going through the course, just finished. And so there are a lot of other options out there nowadays. I wouldn't just say college or don't call it college. What about community college? What about 2-year? Go there, get some underground, save some money, and then go get the 4-year certificate or degree. So I think college education in the future is going to become much more career specific as opposed to general mass expectation. And I think student loan debts is going to be something we have to deal with. But I also think people are just too frivolous with that decision of like, oh, $100,000 of debt. Yeah, but I'm investing in myself. Well, doing what? What are you supposed to be getting out of it? I'm getting a tattoo as I watch this. Cam Newton, you crazy. What is the tattoo of? Obviously, we got to know that now. Danny 4433. This guy, love it. Thank you. James Lemon, college was never supposed to be the main path going into a trade or military. That's the point, it became the expectation. And we really have to start to challenge. College isn't for everybody because what? Everybody's not supposed to be a doctor. Everybody is not supposed to be all of those things. I think even people like certified financial planners, we will probably start to tier towards community colleges. Why? Because we want to get a specific education. And if I can go to a community college and get a specific education for 1/10 the price, bring it on. So I agree right there with Seth. Do you expect government college loans to be forgiven in 2021? It's a great question. Will student loans be forgiven? Obviously, with our incoming president, it feels like, how did you get that job? Great follow right there. It feels like they are going to be forgiven. The first 100 days, it's been said, President-elect Biden will have some form of bill passed to forgive. I, again, will back into the idea that that does not solve the problem. You're putting a Band-Aid on a bigger issue. You got to be able to look at colleges, how people got in debt, and really go to the source instead of just focusing on the pain points. I understand people are hurt, and I understand people need money. But if you don't solve the problem, the pain is never going to go away. That is an athletic lesson. That is a life lesson right there. And so as we look at it, that's really going to become our measurement. I never knew that about the certification. This is very interesting. Well, Charles, we're trying. Come join the movement, brother. Water is warm. Jump on in. Trent 0902, respect, appreciate it. Welcome to the community, the movement. How would college loan forgiveness affect the economy? So there's a couple ideas here. You know, some people say, well, if I wasn't so worried about my $30, $50, $100,000 of student loan debt, maybe I would go start my own business. So maybe it's going to spur a lot of entrepreneurial ideas. I look at it and say, we're going to throw trillions of dollars into the economy, and it's going to stimulate it. It's going to hopefully kick us through and get us over this hurdle that we're in right now. But as you look at it, again, you know, Game of Thrones, Lannisters always pay their debts. This is a debt. This is a liability that you and I will be responsible for. Why a lot of people are up in arms saying don't forgive student loans is, what if I made the decision not to go to college? And now my tax dollars are going to go to bailing somebody else who did go to college? Again, I like the idea of student loan forgiveness, but there is two sides to every coin. That's what we really need to understand more of. So how is it going to impact the economy? I look at it like credit card debt. In the book, in the course, we go through, well, the first way to get out of credit card debt is identifying how you got into credit card debt. I think we need to start with step one when it comes to student loan forgiveness. What happened to your knuckles? Been hitting on your wife? Never. Not funny. I was hitting on a heavy bag and it hit back. Or apparently I don't know how to punch yet. But I'm learning. That's a Corona find. So yeah, it looks weird and I apologize for those. I would call John. Okay. Ooh, yesterday was my birthday, and I started my Roth IRA. Ben Heem, respect, and I love it. Started, and I'd love to know what birthday you celebrated, but whatever one is, you are one step closer to financial freedom. Does the NFL have an economics course available for former players? Seth, funny you should ask. So the NFL has been doing a lot over the last decade to try to modernize the athlete, try to get them to be more holistic around taking care of themselves down the road, because they realize the liability they have. Their players are not living this successful dream that we all preach. And if there is no, mass people living that dream, you're going to start losing a lot of young people chasing it. So they are, turning their focus onto how do we really create modern day athletes. I am more than proud to say Money Vehicle, what I do is partnering with the NFL. I teach teams, I teach players, and we're actually engaging. I'm hopefully going to get most of them to go through the course this offseason. So the NFL is identifying the issue, and we are trying to broach how to address it. Maltz, go Cougs, always. I'm going to have to be a walk-on. Any tips? Danny, going to be a walk-on. This is my favorite tip. Learn to long snap. You'll always add value to a team. Love the special teams coach. Go show and tell him. You tell me where you need, what you need. I'll be there. I'll do it. And then from there, just come with positive energy. And I will say this as somebody who, I was always a guy trying to get on the field. I was never the, big hyped up dude. People are going to hate on you, but that's fine. That is totally fine. You come, bring the energy every day. Your coaches will see it. Your team will appreciate it because you're there to try to help them get better. So I love it. Hitting a heavy bag, yeah. What's a good credit score before purchasing a house? So I would say about 720. would be where I would ideally like to get. Above 750, you're not really going to get too many more benefits. But yeah, if you're in the sixes, you're not going to get the best interest rate. Above 720 is right around where you start getting offered that reliability, that trust there. So I deliver a whole workshop on, going to purchase a house, the decisions and questions you got to answer. Perhaps in January, we'll set up a live and walk through those, because I love that. And that's also something that nobody ever tells you. Are you available for one-on-one coaching? NC 704. So I don't do a whole lot of one-on-one coaching. I would welcome your questions, welcome your situation. I just want to help people. So yeah, we can set up a Zoom. Maybe we set up, get the house question, get your questions and put it in. But no, I don't. I'll do one-on-one coaching, but it's hard for me to charge because usually it's young people, young students, and I'll give it away. So I would welcome HC or NC. If you're interested, we can have that conversation. On Grape 21. Hello, Terrence. Welcome to the movement. Appreciate the follow. You're lucky I wasn't that linebacker. 1017. Bring it on. No. No doubt, man. There's some people, man, but don't do it once. Do it over and over and over. Keep showing up. Then. Seth, always laughing. I want my son to get out of native school, go public school. Spooky, interesting. And I agree with this to some extent. And depending on where you live, public schools, outside of Seattle where I live, the public school system's very good. And so our girls are in public school, but private school, public, they're going to learn more than anything at home. So if that Spooky, if you want them to get a course in money, we can help you out there. Robbie, appreciate it. Welcome in. Randall the Vandal. I love that. That's awesome. How'd you get that job? Secure the bag. Have you taken public speaking courses? You grab my attention. Amazing sunset. You know what grabs my attention? Amazing sunsets. And you think I'm joking, but if you knew me, that is more truth than you can appreciate. So I will give you the best secret I've ever heard to learn how to public speak. Getting comfortable delivering your message, going through your thoughts. The best thing you can do to become a better public speaker, journal. Write this junk down. I cannot tell you, and I have, here's a third one that I keep, and they all have different reasons and different purposes. And these aren't even like my journals. But what I love is sitting and really playing through what happened in my day, what happened. That's how you begin to tell stories. And if you can tell a story, you can then begin to direct and become a public speaker. So that is a great tip and a great way to use it. So if you want to become a better public speaker, start saying it to yourself alone on a pen and paper, and then you'll get better at it. Give us a quick puppet dance. I got to post that one out. It was too good. Thoughts on Forex. Also, here are my thoughts. One, it is an expertise. There are people who have spent their lives understanding this exchange, understanding these currencies. Two, you need a big move. You need big dollars to go in there and play. These guys are, this is not can I get into the penny stocks? Sure, there's some money to be made at the small increments, but in my personal opinion, I can't say my personal experience, but the people I talk to, you need a big bank to go make big moves there. And most people starting out do not have that. Once again, I love the idea of people getting interested in it. But it is just not, it's just like options. It is not something to be taken lightly. It is not a game. People are there to make money, and this is their jobs. But I am open and interested in what is the future, what is the new. I got a great job out of the military as a wind turbine technician. This industry is growing fast. Wind turbine technician. Yeah, I would bet on some wind power, some even solar energy, all of those green alternatives. So I love it. D Dunn did it. First off, appreciate your service. Always respect to the military. Secondly, Love that you transitioned and said, hey, here's a great career. Here's a good job. That's amazing. You know, the transition out of the military is, I got to imagine, extremely hard because it's such your identity. Similar to an athlete, never want to disrespect and say it's the same. Have you ever considered real estate investing, house flipping, pros and cons? Thomas Baloo. So yes, I actually do real estate investing. I own some rental properties in Detroit, Michigan. When I was playing there for the Lions, saw an opportunity, took advantage of it, and it's proving to be excellent decisions. Investing over the long term. I don't flip. I'm a long-term hold rental kind of person at the moment, but you know, I look around my neighborhood, I look around this area, and people are flipping and making a ton of money. Again, your taxes are different there. It's not as good of a tax shelter. You do get to, you know, have some advantages, but if you're looking at it from a long term, I want an income, cash flow, and some tax advantages, I would look into rentals. Start with a single family, work your way up to a duplex, triplex. And what's amazing is I have a buddy who started at the same time as me in single family homes. Now he goes into 100-unit apartment buildings and runs through the same fundamentals because it's just numbers. That's one of the really cool understandings about real estate is it's all the same. You just add some zeros. So I'm a big believer in real estate investing, but again, it's part of the portfolio. I talked to too many people, talked to them after 2008 who were multi-millionaires in real estate and it crashed. You got to be diversified. Go get, you know, and if you want to, walk into real estate, REITs are great, real estate investment trusts. But even if you look at it right now, this time last year, people who owned, those massive buildings in downtown urban areas where they're either rented out or they were commercial, all of a sudden those are not as valuable. And so if you only were in that space, you got really hurt. So cons on flipping, interest rates right now, it's a great time to be in real estate. So the only con I see in flipping is it's just like day trading. You got to continually guess right. And people are making a ton of money. Ben, 18th birthday, opened a Roth account. Let's go. That's awesome. I would love for you to go through the course and see if we can add more value to you. Would you recommend a Roth IRA or a traditional IRA? So Charles, I can't make any recommendations. A hard asset is property good investment, probably a good investment. Yeah, real estate being a hard tangible asset right now is a great investment. Appreciate it, Joseph. So it all depends on specifics. If you have a high income, $200,000-$300,000, I'm comfortable with you saying traditional right now. I'll take the tax advantage today. Thank you. If you're a younger earner, if you're starting out in your career, we are highly recommending somebody who is in the lower tax brackets to start Roth accounts because you pay taxes on it today, but then you never pay taxes again. And again, we got some tax liabilities coming due. Why football scouts don't check native schools for college? They do. I believe, what you learn in the NFL is if you got talent, people are going to find you. College, same way. I played with guys from towns of 400 and towns of 400,000. And it's just, it is harder to get seen. Those camps that everybody missed out on last summer, hopefully we'll be back this summer to even the playing field a little bit. But why aren't they looking is because time is tough. I did not win the Super Bowl. I got there the year after. Sorry, Ryan. Hi, Bob Duncan. Hello, Wayne. Can you please say Jason is a bozo? Jason is a bozo. Who is that? Cokes? I don't know Jason, but apparently he's a bozo. When you recover a fumble or an interception and you keep the ball from the other team, do you have it? So I didn't play defense in the NFL. I didn't get any. I got a fumble recovery and an interception in college. When I scored touchdowns, I got to keep a couple of those balls. One of them's right there. That was my first touchdown. But yeah, guys, if it's like a memorable one, this is my first interception or my 10th or whatever, people will keep those. Get them. I love it. Olympia Spooky. Best running back you played with. That's really hard. Let's see. Brian Westbrook in Philadelphia was a perennial Pro Bowler. Matt Forte in Chicago was a stud. Jamal Lewis, Jerome Harrison, go Cougs. Reggie Bush, obviously. Pierre Thomas, best screen back out there. And Pierre was super underrated, overexceeded on all of it. Mark Ingram was a dude. Joik Bell, I got to play with him in New Orleans and in Detroit. There was a lot of really good running backs I got to play with, which was fun. Seattle here. All right, Mike O'Connor, welcome. Welcome in. Northwest Love. Question, I'm working on my Series 65. What made you get into finance? Love it. So oddly enough, I got my Series 65 after I got my certification in financial planning. So I went kind of backwards there. But I got into finances because I was scared out of my mind. I got into money because I looked at football and I said, man, this is going to be a physical toll. If I don't have the depth to capture the dream, it's not going to be worthwhile. So I got in out of fear, and why I got into teaching and education is because I realized it's not just dumb NFL players who don't understand money. It's most people. Most people don't understand money. So I started, pursuing my own education, and as I did, more people asked me questions. And who is that? That's Herm Finance. The financial world is continuing to go through a revolution. And I will say this, it is an extremely good time to be getting into it as a young person because the opportunity is going to be tremendous, tremendous. The industry is shifting from the old regime to the new regime. And people, I would say 50+% of the financial advisory world are old dudes. So young people, minorities, females need to get into this industry soon. Who dat? Love the helmet. Paul Black. Who dat, babe? Damn, I need some one-on-one coaching too. John Kim, I'll hook you up. What is the best low startup cost passive income stream? Owning an ATM, vending machine, or just simply investing? So I really was interested in the ATM piece. I saw those, but I unfortunately think you're a little late there. I don't see those as the future. You know what I mean? And I really try to look at maybe you can make a quick buck today, but over the next 10 years, do you see people using ATMs? I loved this. I actually had a buddy who really got into this and blew him up and made some good money on it. But I wouldn't be getting into them today just because we're going so virtual. I don't even think we're going to be carrying wallets in 10 years, which is okay with me. Vending machines, I think vending machines are awesome. But again, it's getting to the now with COVID going forward, do you see people being as comfortable? And I'm not saying vending machines are going to go out, but I'm just saying the average mass people, you've lost a percentage of them in your business. And so again, I look at it and I say today, maybe 10 years, less likely. And shoot, in 10 years, you might not need a vending machine. A drone might be able to follow you anywhere you want to go and just hold up your hand. But I love the LeBron. I love the question. And if you can find a business that makes sense for you, all about it. All about it. I've been here the past 2 days. Star Zig, because you are the best. You're the best. You're the best. I love bacon too, G-Run. We're about to have some BLTs for dinner. Can start the money talking questions now. Charles, let's do it. All right, here we go. Any tips on getting scouted? I've made some videos on that. We can talk about that after we get the money side in. Cheese Kingdom. Thank you. Thanks for the response. Let's link to talk more. Thank you. The Sherm Finance. I like it. Did anybody see Peloton bought Precor? Thought that was kind of interesting. Do NFL players get paycheck or settlement check game checks? Do they get paycheck or settlement check? You get severance if you make it a year. I'm not really positive what that question is, Cedric. Yeah, they get paid per game. They've changed that now from 17 weeks to 34 weeks. King Bear, you crazy, but I love it. Your thoughts on options trading? Angel. All right, let's go one or two more, and then let's get to the topic of the day. My thought on options trading. Robinhood opened Pandora's box. Some people, and you saw the 5 stories of people who made a crazy amount of money, and a lot of people lost a lot of money. Options are complex. People take entire years studying how they work, why they work, which ones we need. They go get certified, they go get their series, they get all these things. So I love options trading. I think it's really cool. I also saw that water is starting to have futures trading, which is an interesting element in development. But I think options trading is just the new hot, sexy thing that people are going to start churning and making money on. But in the end, enough stories are going to come out that says, this is not a short-term home run. This is a long-term deal that you got to understand how to incrementally win. And so that is what I think is being missed, is everybody ran to and thought this was like a short-term, we're all going to become mega millionaires. This is what you need to understand about investing on all fronts. In one thought, here's one of the most important things you got to understand about investing, especially options. If you are selling it, somebody else is buying it. If you are buying it, somebody else is selling it. So however smart you are, there's somebody who totally disagrees with you. I don't know how smart they are. You're probably looking in the mirror and saying, I'm smarter than that person. But the idea is somebody, this is what makes horse racing fun, difference of opinions. I hope both sides of your pillow is warm. Thank you. My son go to Chief Lechai school. All good players leave to go regular school, so scouts check them. Yeah, I get that. Can you talk about MPI investing? See it a lot on TikTok. Adam Hodges, MPI. No, I can't talk about it off the top. We can talk about it another day. Off topic, but who's the scariest linebacker you had to block? Endless, man. They're all scary. Batman pajamas, middle linebacker in the NFL. Some tough dudes. I would say Ray Maluga, I mentioned the other day. Okay, so here we go. Money talk today. December dollars. One financial tip each and every day. Let's get it. Let's talk about it at the moment. So right now, the cyber defense in the world is becoming a $6 trillion industry and growing daily. Why cybersecurity has been called the problem with no solution is because really the only way to avoid it is to totally check out and to totally eliminate all of your social interactions. Is that likely? No, it's not. So most people aren't going to do that. So we have to begin to learn how to defend ourselves. And as you look at this, you say, okay, well, what are the versions of cyber attacks today? There are 2. Malware, which is the older traditional attack, and social engineering, which is the new age, which is the one that you and I are under attack on a daily basis. Malware would be somebody looks at your computer. If any of you know somebody who can code, we all do nowadays. But as they look at you, they say, hey, I could probably hack onto their phone. I can hack onto their computer. I can get into their system. That age of hacking and somebody being so good to beat the system is being pushed away. Why? Because they are finding easier avenues to get into your stuff. What is this new easy avenue? Hate to share it to you. It's you. 90+% of cyber attacks today are human error, are you and me. This idea of social engineering has totally shifted the way people understand how things work. No longer are we really terrified of somebody, figuring out how to get on our computer. We're looking at it and saying, we're giving them information. We're giving them a password. We're giving them a social security number. We're giving them where we're going, what we're doing. And that is our biggest failure at the moment. Social engineering is a manipulation of putting your guards down. So they are coming at you from all fronts, whether it looks like a bank, looks like a workout, looks like LinkedIn, looks like anything. You need to begin to look at how it's coming and where you can identify. What we're going to talk about tomorrow are the questions you can go through when you get these new. And don't just think it's coming online. or coming through email. Email's huge. And the number one cyber attack today, the email says missed package. Wonder why that is? Because we have packages coming each and every day. Oh, click this link. You can go track your package. Wait a minute. So looking at those, number one hack or phishing attack today is a missed package. So as you look at social engineering versus malware, malware is the older traditional one that said, I can get onto your system. Social engineering today says you are going to help me get onto your system. I love to use an analogy. I actually play a game when we're in workshops, but I can't do that because none of you guys can talk back to me at the moment. But imagine yourself walking into a McDonald's, and as you walk up where you usually go to the register and order your food, nobody is really there. But then boop, 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 some lights come on to the left, and you walk to the left, and you walk up to that, and it has what you feel like is a very similar representation. It looks like McDonald's. There's the menu. There's somebody taking your order. It's just not in the same place. It's usually here, but now it's over here. As you walk up to it, you say, all right, I'm going to continue with my order because I want my food. That is exactly what social engineering is doing. They want you to feel comfortable. They want you to put your guard down. They want you to think this is Bank of America. But instead of Bank of America, it's Bank of America. They left out some words. They left out some letters. They've got a little sloppy. So as you look at it today, we really need to understand you are under attack. Why cybersecurity is one of the first 10 questions you need to understand and identify about your money is because it is a daily thing that is happening. So we really got to be able to look at it and begin to defend ourselves. So that is the question of the day, this identification of a self-manipulation, how to defend it, what questions to ask, those will come tomorrow. And we're going to take Christmas off, so we'll probably do a two for tomorrow. So let's see if I missed any questions. Safeguard. Safe King David. What's up? Jed, been a long time. Marina versus Mission Viejo. Wow. Scrub Sun Sports. Love it. Been a long time. That's awesome. So, welcome Super Diesel, Sanovac. Welcome to the community, the club. Malcolm, appreciate it. That's awesome. Do you know Zach Lyon? He's my new high school head coach. He played fullback. He's your high school head coach. Absolutely, I know Zach Lyon. First off, who dat? Second off, fullback fraternity. Tell him I said hello. I got to meet him last year when they were in Seattle. Love it. It's crazy. He's already transitioned and coaching. That's very cool. And Mickey Lotus, what's good? Zane Campbell, 451, welcome in. Question of the day, you can win prizes. You can win free access to the Money Vehicle course. You can win a signed book by yours truly, or you can win $50. What are the two types of cyber attacks today? And briefly tell me what the difference in them is, if you can. Two types of cyber attacks today. Yeah, I thought it was really interesting. So, malware and social engineering. Charles Cavalier. I hope I'm saying that right. Love it. Charles, did you win yesterday? You did win yesterday. Look at Charles coming back. He said, I want that money. Phishing, malware. John Kim. Always. So Charles. DDoS and malware. Appreciate it. Oso. Look at Oso coming in. Phishing is a bait. Malware is like a virus. Phishing is a bait. Malware is like a virus. I might use that, John Kim. I'm not kidding. Or social engineering. Malware is older. Charles, appreciate. Yep. Malware, old school. Kyle J. Ferberg coming into the fold. Coming back. I love it. Welcome back, Kyle J. Social engineering is the new school. So this is what we got to understand. You are under attack. Malware. So Kyle, Charles, John Kim, appreciate y'all. LeBron. Social engineering is pretty prevalent. It is prevalent each and every day. You would be amazed. And for every one you think you find, they've created 10 more because they work. That is the scary part, is this thing is not going down. It is just starting. So really being able to identify. Tomorrow, we're going to go through 5 questions you should look through and pop through your head as you start to get emails, inbound, other things. Yeah, last thing I wanted to just mention, just because I thought this was really interesting about vertical integration in companies. Best Christmas present is your tips. Charles, I was going to do a whole like marketing thing on like Facebook and stuff that Money Vehicle, the virtual course would be the best return on present this holiday season. We never got to it, but I truly appreciate that. I think that's awesome. And we're going to get you on the course, bro. So Peloton just bought Precor, which is a stationary bike company. They build stationary bikes. Why? Because they had no supply. They were months out. And so they bought it for $420 million. Peloton stock is up 400% in 2020. 400% in 2020. But this idea of vertically integrating makes them even stronger. It says we no longer will have to wait for other people. Now we are going to be building our own bikes. I think this is a really powerful move. And you start to just look at how they are spreading and diversifying. This idea of vertical integration is a really neat concept. All right. Hi, Cheesy McBurger. Welcome back. Landon Jones, you just missed us because we are going to be signing off today. Appreciate you joining, people. Men, women, all are welcome. Questions are welcome. We want to help you understand, strategize, and be efficient with your money. Use your money vehicle. I've been steadily investing in my Roth 401k. Do you think I need to invest elsewhere? Doggle Gerdred. So if you're maxing it out, first off, booyah. Kudos to you, Doggle. That's impressive because you got $19,000 after tax going into your Roth. So that's about $30,000, which is impressive. Do I think you need to go elsewhere? Not at the moment, no. If you start feeling a little froggy and want to hop, maybe start to look into some real estate. Maybe, you can open a Roth IRA along with a Roth 401k. If you want to have different buckets, perhaps you go, maybe a traditional IRA because you already have your Roth working for you. I would look at opening an HSA, health savings account, if you have a high deductible health plan, because that actually has a triple tax advantage. Somebody remember to ask me that tomorrow, why HSA has a triple tax advantage. But if you are maxing out your Roth 401k, big ups, big props. If you continue to have in your money buckets, so if your money buckets is above that $19,000 Roth 401k, then you can absolutely open a brokerage account. You can absolutely open some form of IRA or preferably an HSA. So no, I don't think you need to be going anywhere. Make sure you're maxing out the Roth 401k. If that comes to fruition, then you can begin to look elsewhere. But as of right now, it's disciplined more than where can I go get a bigger bang. You're going to get a good return in your 401k as long as you're using the right investments, and I would recommend indexing there. Thanks for giving us your time, Charles. This is awesome. Truly, this is social engagement. I miss human beings, so this is always fun for me. Are the most athletes in the NFL mean or pretty nice? Most of the people in the NFL are pretty nice. Honestly, most of the people in the NFL are kind of insecure. They are a little shy, and people think that sometimes they think being shy means they're mean. No, athletes, it's a weird dynamic. You got to understand, most of these guys were in a fishbowl since they were 12. So they're already kind of lacking a trust. And they are really, if you are in their circle, some of the most nice, humble, caring people. But yeah, people in public think, oh, well, they're mean because that's an insecurity on them. And I will be the first one to say it. Why people liked me in the NFL was I was the guy who walked up to you. I didn't care if you were the starting quarterback or, the guy getting cut. I treated everybody the same. And I was goofy and awkward and weird with them. And people love that. So don't do the I'm going to be so cool with an athlete that I make fun of them right out the gate. Some people think I'm so comfortable, I made fun of this guy. That's not the way to do it. Just be cool with them. Treat them normally. And that's what's really neat is they are not mean. There are a few knuckleheads. There are a few a-holes who are absolutely mean. But most guys are really genuinely nice and level-headed. Doggle, welcome for answering the question. What happened to your hands, mate? Heavy bag. I got to learn how to punch. Thank you for your time today, John Kim. Always. A lot of cameras. On me or on you? Derek Watt sucks. We'll end on that one. Michael Beam, 46. What's good? Malware, software, social engineering. Be on alert. Be on it. You're under attack. We will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is Christmas Eve. We are going to go early. We will go 3 o'clock Eastern, 12 o'clock Pacific, 2 o'clock Central, 1 o'clock Mountain. Got them all this time, just so people don't feel left out. See you tomorrow. Be there, be square. Hey, Bossier, who dat? Saints. What's up, homie? Who's that, Michael Beam? What's good, bro? With them hands, you going to catch a case like Gone Girl? Damn, why is everybody got to go straight to like me and my wife? I love my wife. She's good. She's upstairs making dinner. No, I got new boxing gloves, and I went to punch the thing. When I went like that, it just whoosh, scraped them on the thing. It's a bummer. I'm hoping they heal. My daughters put little medicine on them each night. It's actually kind of cute. Go Browns. There you go. There's that Browns helmet. Got to keep that. Where do I get your book? Amazon, but where do you see Don McAllister? You can get the book on Amazon. You can get the course on yourmoneyvehicle.com. That comes with an ebook if you get into the course. But if you want the physical book, Amazon.com is the best. What's she making? BLTs. You know, pretty good. They just made cinnamon rolls. We delivered them to all of our neighbors. Holidays. Finally finished school this semester. Can't wait to attack the course. RDY, you in? I like it. LOL, just kidding. Don McAllister, yeah, Amazon, done. Thoughts on Jeremy Chin? I don't know Jeremy Chin. Hate when people tell me support small business and are tire kickers. Who's your favorite teammate? What insurance should I have? Cheesy Mac Burger. Last question, then I'm going to Diddy bounce. What insurance should I have? Ask yourself this simple question. What's too valuable to lose? Your belongings? Are you renting? You should have renters. Are you driving around? Is your car? Or is it hitting somebody else? Then you should have auto insurance. Is it somebody else dependent on your assets, your income? Then you should have life insurance. If you are young and can't afford to miss your paycheck this month, then you should have disability insurance. I think that's one of the most overlooked one for young people. I get disability is a weird concept to look at, but when you really start to identify not long-term care insurance, disability insurance, that simply says, I cannot go to work. I need to have some form of income. So it's all depending on your situation, but ask yourself that question. What is too valuable to lose? My paycheck, my life, my belongings, what is that? And then you transfer those risks. So great question, Cheesy Mac Burger. Panthers rookie, probably going to be rookie defensive player of the year. Oh, damn. What happened to your hand? I need to get my hands fixed, I'm telling you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate it, love it. Thank you. See you all tomorrow, 3 o'clock Eastern, and we will go into social engineering.